DIYs are great. And the reason for that is that if you are in a crafty corner, if you would like to do some DIY, some crafty, creative stuff, then you almost always have something you can do. There's always some type of craft out there that's just waiting for you to start. And I have been in my crafty corner recently, so I actually tried doing something that I have been wanting to do for 150 years, which is sharpie mugs. And they are actually not real DIY like sharpie mugs, because I have no sharpies. But nonetheless, I wanted to draw on some mugs that I could use. And the mugs I have, we just had so many lying around in our apartment. We actually moved with these because I wanted to draw on them, and then I forgot it. But I finally got to it, and it's just like normal pale mugs. And it was really fun for me because, as I said, I wanted to draw, but I didn't have Sharpies. I didn't want to go out of my way to buy some because I already had some markers at home. So I thought, what if I use the markers I have on the mugs? And little did I know, they aren't made for that. The markers I have are made for glass and plastic and paper and metal and like shrink plast, what is it called, wrap? I don't even know. Like, it's made for everything else than mugs. So I had a hard time with it, not really using it. It's just like a normal Sharpie or like a normal marker. But I did have a bit of a tough time because I realized they weren't like permanent markers. So instead of the idea that I could use it for drinking, I now have to use them as decor, as decoration, just for fun. I don't even know what I'm gonna use it for yet. But they can't be washed, so I'll have to use them for some type of decor. And the other problem I had was that I only had black. So I had two different markers, but they were both black. So I had to come up with something that I could do that was pretty easy with only one color, only one pen. And the first ideas I had were like flowers, lots of flowers and lots of colors. Because I was looking at Pinterest, and that's kind of the beautiful things that came up that I really liked. But unfortunately, it's pretty hard to make colorful flowers with only black. So instead, I thought about doing something else that I have been wanting to do for so goddamn long. I love Studio Ghibli and their movies, and I have been wanting to make kind of like a fandom-inspired stuff, something inspired by the Ghibli movies, and why not, is what I thought. So I have actually made 4 mugs, only with black marker that does wash off if I use water. But they are all Ghibli designed and I adore them. At least 3 of them are really cute, and the last one I'm not really sure what I think about, but I still kind of love it. So I will just go get those 4 so I can show them to you. The things that I needed were like the markers. I'll put them up here so you can see which ones they were. Like 2 markers is what I used. One is bigger, one is smaller. So one I used to draw, and the other one I used to fill in, and then I used my clear marks and a lot of patience. That's pretty much all I had to use to do these 4 mugs. And I think I will just like take you through it and show you what I did, because I have them right beside me here. So if I'm looking down, it's actually because I'm just admiring the work that I did. For the 4 mugs I made, I used 4 different movies. I took 4 different Ghibli movies that I think are really iconic, really great, perhaps some of the more watched ones, I believe. It's at least 3 of them are ones I've watched a lot, and the 4th is one I've watched, I wouldn't say a lot too, but also quite a bit. There were some that I wish I kind of also could have drawn, but I felt like they need a lot of color, and I didn't really want to do them then. So I kind of did the easiest, and then I did one terribly hard one that I didn't think would be hard before after I had started it. And I also didn't have like enough mugs to just keep going. So I settled on 4 different ones that I end up quite liking. For the first one, we are going into My Neighbor Totoro. and this movie is iconic. It's like Totoro is just everywhere. Where I feel like it's one of the icons. Then when people say Studio Ghibli, then you can just imagine this fluffy bear thing, neighbor of the forest, going around helping people and being a fluff ball of cuteness. And that's why I chose to do him. He is, I'm not sure if I would say he's easy to make, because I did have a tough time with it. I did find a picture on Pinterest that I wanted to do, and then I just kind of scaled it up so that he became bigger, but it actually ended up like this, and I think it looks so good, especially from this distance. If you get up here, I can see a lot of flaws and a lot of things that look weird, but from here he just looks really freaking cute. Like, I find that so amazing. But I'll just tell you how I did it, because I have trouble filming. Right now I only have my phone and I don't have anything to hold it, so it's really hard for me to film what I did. But I have a drawing I will put up so you can see like my ideas and how I drew it, and then I kind of filled in with the black. So that's kind of what I did with all of them actually, but I'll just tell you a little bit about it while I show them to you. But for Totoro, I really did just like do the outline here with his weird ears and cute body. Then I drew the eyes with the eye in, I guess, and these small like splotches. And when I had done that, I simply filled it in. And for the last, I just did for these whiskers, I just drew like really quick strokes outwards, and then it ended out like this, and it looks so cute from a distance, I'll say again. I'm hoping to get them like on a, like to stand on something like over here, something. But yeah, I don't know, I really enjoy looking at it. I can't not look at it right now. And I'll put some pictures up also, both for you but also for like all of them, so that you can see how they all look together. But we will, as I said before, take them all one at a time. So that's what we're doing. For the second one, it's also an iconic one, I think, but not as well seen. It's not as big as Totoro. This is Gigi, and I also like Gigi a lot because he's the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service, and he's just so dang cute. I was actually not sure if it was a he or a she. It doesn't really matter to me, like, but I wanted to do him justice, her justice, and say the right thing. But it seems, if you ask, then it's a she, but he also gets a girlfriend later and gets kittens, so if they were two girls, I guess they wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm not sure, it will just be Gigi, and Gigi is freaking cute. I kind of wish I had a red, because then I would have drawn like Kiki does have a red bow tie, or like for her hair, and I kind of want to give him that as a bow tie, but alas, I didn't have anything other than black, so this is what I did. I also got inspiration for this on Pinterest, so I kind of drew again the outline for the tail, for the body, for the head, and then I filled it in. And it also had, like on Pinterest, it had these cute paw prints. I really liked it, so I just added like an extra one, and then I made the face a bit in the inspiration photo I had. It was very round and cutesy, and mine is perhaps a bit more derpy. You shouldn't see it, like if you see it up close you can see it doesn't look that great, but just look at it from here and it's really dang cute. So it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of over there, and I like looking at it, especially from a distance, so I'm really happy about that. And he's such a cute and quirky little cat, so I was looking forward to making that, and I really enjoyed doing it also. It was really easy. He just has like a bit of a derpy face, but I guess that doesn't really matter so much. For the next one, I had a hard time remembering what they were. I have seen Spirited Away like 1 million billion times. It's perhaps, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, like I love so many of these movies. But nonetheless, I wanted to make this Soot Spirits, and I couldn't remember for the life of me what it was. So on the paper where I kind of drew what I wanted to do, I just called them dust bunnies because I couldn't remember, but they are soot spirits, and I remember they appeared in not in Howl's Moving Castle, in Spirited Away. That's where I saw them first. They are helping like the spider dude in the cellar remove coal. They are soot spirits, so that makes sense. But they are just these small balls of absolute cuteness, and they were a bit harder to do because with the others I just had to like draw the outline and then I had to fill it in. But for these, they are furry, so I kind of have to do something more than that, just that. So I simply drew like the outline, the circle, and then I drew hair. So I like went from the inside and out just like this, all the way around, and then filled it in. That's actually all I did. It was also really simple, but it did take a bit more time to kind of have to make all those quick strokes. And on the idea, like on the one I found on Pinterest where I looked, it only had 2. I started out making 2, but I thought it was, I don't know, a bit lonely maybe, because I did draw them pretty far down. Like you can't, if you just put down this, you can't really see it. I would have wanted them further up. If I accidentally wash it, I might paint them further up. But I put just like an extra little baby one on here who looks absolutely crazy, and I think he's just adorable. The eyes are so expressive, like they seem so weird. They also do this in the inspiration photo I saw, and also in the movie actually, so it's not like it's something new. But I really like this little derby one that I added myself because he just looked like, he looks so confused but also really, really cute. Let me just see if I can get him all up. Like, isn't he just, he's just so dang cute. So I added him too, and I'm really happy about it. I love these soot spirits. They are super, super cute, and even though they were a bit harder to make, it didn't really matter that much. For the hardest one to make, this was perhaps a really bad idea on my end. I will admit it. This was a super stupid idea. I don't know why I did it, but I just really wanted to. One of my absolute favorite movies from here. Again, I just said I didn't really have any, but I really love this one. I think I have seen this the most. It's Howl's Moving Castle. And I think it was the first Ghibli movie that I watched. And I've watched it so many times since then. I'm just in love with the story, the characters, and especially Calcifer, who's like the evil fire demon that lives in the castle. That's kind of the heart of it all, and making it move. And I really wanted to make him, but I was unsure because I remembered that I didn't have any colors, but I was so set on doing it anyways. So I tried it out and it went. Something happened. Something definitely happened. I wanted to make 2 of his faces. I was thinking about just doing a normal like fire, but I thought that might be a bit too boring and a bit too hard to see that it was actually supposed to be him. So instead I wanted to do the part where he makes eggs and bacon for breakfast. So he like has like a pan in his on his head, and he's like pushed down and just frying some food. And then I wanted the one where he where Sophie, she cleans like the fireplace, so she has to hold him up by a piece of wood, and he just clings to it for dear life, and his butt is almost too heavy, so he almost falls out. That was like the 2 I really wanted to put on here. So I started with the one with the food because I thought that was the one I would have the hardest time with, and I did. I wasn't aware of how hard it was to make a fire when I only have black. I'm not really talented, I'm not really good at drawing, so it was so hard for me. But I started making this, I don't even know what it looks like right now, but I wanted to show you anyways, so that you can see that sometimes things doesn't go as we plan, but I guess it's okay. I made the pan for him, some bacon, some eggs in there, and then just put like an extra line around here just to make sure you could see it wasn't just a weird line, that it's actually the pan. And then I drew him like outside of it and a bit like up in the pan, so you could see his fire kind of spread. And then his derby face of when he's like, I don't know, I think he's eating eggs, like eggshells at this point. He's really cute in the in the movie. I will show you the actual picture because this does no justice to it, but it was still very fun to make. The other one I perhaps like the most is when Coltau is hanging by a thread in a piece of log with his ass just hanging down, and it looks like this. And you still can't see it's Coltau, really, it just looks like someone with a weird haircut, but I still find it really funny. You can see his small hands, his face, he's just really scared that he's falling off. And I did the same way, I just drew the log like normally, and then I made his outline and filled it in. So that's really what I did with all of them. And some of them turned out better than others. The one with Coltau, I'm so sorry about it. I really didn't do him justice, and I really wish I could. Perhaps if I had some colors I would be able to do it better. Perhaps if I practiced more I would be able to do it better. Nonetheless, I'm really in love with these. I'll just put up a picture so you can see how they all look together. How cute they all look. I will be looking forward to getting up like my what are they called? They will be hanging right here. You can see I have holes in my walls because we have trouble with drilling in our walls. But I'm going to have like two up here. What are they called? Just give me a second. My brain really can't think right now. Shelves. They are shelves. I will be having two shelves right here, and I was hoping they could stand up there. But that's all for today, really. That's all I had to do today. It was just a really quick draw. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me that I can't use them for drinking because I have so many mugs already. So just using these for decorations also made me really, really happy about it. So yeah, I was really happy about it. I used like a couple of hours, I think, on everything, and it was super fun. Just having to look at these characters again and trying to make them as well as I could. And I enjoyed so much, I might actually want to do it again. Which is not good because we already have too many mugs in the house, so I shouldn't. But I want to. So I would love to know if you guys have anything else you would like me to DIY, if you think I can actually DIY it. Perhaps I can't, but I would love to try. And also if you ever like tried using or drawing on these mugs, if you have any idea on how I can make it last longer, I would love to know, because I'm so sad I didn't have a real Sharpie marker to do this. If you know how to do that, please tell me in the comments down below. I would love to know that. It's like a secret I really wish to learn. But that is all for today. If you liked the video, you can choose to give it a like, a thumbs up. You can choose to subscribe to stay for future videos, or ring the bell so you get notified whenever I upload anything, if that's what you want. And I just hope you all have a happy life, one day at a time.